heart attack, fast fatal heart impact, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact, don't ask, grab reactions, jacked, attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet now, get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty, hello everybody, this is Kirusho here, and now, whenever we last left off, Midoriya, he has unlocked his quirk, and has discovered exactly how fast he truly is. In fact, he's almost as fast as the pro hero Ingenium. And he does have, well, some work to do. Midoriya knows that if he wants to be a pro, he's going to have to continuously do what he does. Run around, exercise, and basically eat a bit more food. His father told him all about this, and Midoriya's quite ready for it. In fact, he's very energetic. And whenever he is running around at school the next day, yeah, he's having quite a lot of fun. Everyone focusing on him. Since you see Midoriya, then you don't see him. Then he's back. Midoriya has quite a lot of fun with this. And eventually the school day is over. And Midoriya does head home. Getting back home within a matter of minutes. And Midoriya, he's confused whenever he's trying to look through his backpack. He cannot find his lunchbox. Now, he's trying to think, where did he leave it? Did it fall? Did it do anything? Did it get out of his backpack, or did someone take it? Midoriya trying to figure it all out. And after retracing his steps, he does find it on the road. And bring it back home. Now, he's very confused at why that happened. And trying to figure it all out. Yeah. He learns that it's because whenever he does run, his hair usually does stand up. Or at least look like you just hit it with a very big blow dryer. So, after looking into it a bit more and trying to explain his mom to the situation, she does try to explain it. Midoriya is running against wind. He's able to move, yes, but his quirk, it does still obey the laws of physics. Whenever you do run, you're having some force pull you in the opposite direction. That is resistance. Like if you were to start running, you would feel wind hitting your face. That's because, one scientific explanation later, Midoriya is a little confused. However, she does try to explain it. Telling Midoriya that he would have to use his quirk, or possibly find a way around it. Midoriya still doesn't understand it. Now, over the next few years, Midoriya slowly begins to understand what his mom meant. Midoriya kept getting faster, and as he got faster, his quirk began to develop more. Midoriya, he is roughly at the speed of almost 200 miles. And today he discovers something whenever he is out running. Instead of him having to basically keep his hair down or make sure that it doesn't get caught in the wind, he discovers that whenever he actually does move his hand a certain way, or at least remove his form, whenever he's running, whenever he does change it up, the wind in front of him changes. The resistance to it feels lessened. And he got faster. Now, Midoriya began to try and explore this avenue, and slowly discovering that he can actually bend the wind in front of him as he runs. Basically, to where he can run without any resistance to him. Whenever he first began to try and develop this little technique for running, it was odd. It involved sometimes rapid movements and/or changes to the way he's simply running. Other times, he would simply just fall and slip, trying to do this. It was somewhat of a dance, you could say. Now, Midoriya is just working on his footwork, and trying to do this. As whenever he does finally somewhat perfect it, and go out on a run and try this out, it's phenomenal. Midoriya, he's been able to actually just bend the wind in front of him, part it, and run straight through it, as it would basically seal back behind him. Meaning that he's made his own little pocket where he does not encounter any resistance when he runs. Now, with that being said, his speed does increase. He was remarkably slow, but now he is up to almost 300 to 400 miles. If you want to lowball him, let's say 250. If you want to highball him, the max would be 400. Now, Midoriya also did begin to weight train. Basically wear light weights around his ankles and his arms. And actually a bit of a small vest. Now, Midoriya, he began to wear these. He would feel more tired and get exhausted. His dad's whole purpose for him wearing these was so that he can increase his strength. Midoriya talked about always training, but trying to do things like CrossFit and stuff like that, they somewhat became a bit weird. He has to be up and moving around. If he stays in the same place for too long, it just gets boring. Now, Midoriya, he began to simply just run this way. Anytime his dad thought he was good at a weight, he would move him up 5 pounds. Now, as Midoriya was doing this type of training, you do have Bakugo. Him and Bakugo, they are actually becoming really good friends. Over the last few years, Bakugo has seen Midoriya just get faster and faster. He is the fastest runner on the track team at their school. He's the fastest person to get schoolwork done, because he can simply just look at something and process the information faster. Meaning that he doesn't even really have to try. In fact, he began to get a bit more carefree and laid back. Bakugo, on the other hand, went the opposite direction. And these two, yeah, they do hang out and have fun. However, Bakugo, he doesn't really care about training his quirk right now. And Midoriya, he's talking with Bakugo, telling him that he just found this really cool band that plays some music, asking Bakugo if he wants to hear them. Him getting annoyed and just saying no. He doesn't want to hear them. Besides, aren't you supposed to be doing something else right now, man? Huh? Oh. Well, I guess so. Midoriya going to get in a running stance, and he takes off running. Now, with that being said, let's say that Midoriya is around the age of 11 years old. And today, he's running throughout the city. Now, some people do actually see Midoriya, except they also only realize it's him whenever they do barely see anything move, or at least feel the wind pick up. Now, while Midoriya is running, he's simply just thinking, what is he going to do today? Let's see. I can get home, do my homework, as Midoriya changes his body, spinning his arms around and actually crossing his right leg over to his left, before simply just stepping off onto the right direction, bending the wind in that area as he's able to move, thinking, I can do my homework, then probably listen to some music. Then again, I also might need to get some new headphones soon. These things are getting really old. Now, as Midoriya does look up, he sees the current situation. There is a villain attack. Now, he's quite surprised. A very huge person, or a villain, is currently trying to destroy a part of the city. And Midoriya, yeah, he thinks for a second. Watching as a hero that is flying, they are currently in a bit of danger. The villain, they just picked up a very large object. Let's say a piece of a building, and chucked it at them. And they barely were able to turn around and see it. Now, Midoriya, he simply does one thing. He tries to catch up and speed up. He begins to just try and move faster. Move faster, move faster. And he just thinks for a minute. He can't get up there. She's up too high. So he just begins to run around. As he gets closer, he sees it. A few simple planks. Running up them, he's able to step on one and then move to the next, and then to the next. As he's able to do that, he is able to actually turn and run up the side of a wall. It's actually quite surprising. As soon as Midoriya does that, he just simply runs on more of the boards, watching as they just barely even move underneath his feet. As soon as he's able to get close enough, he actually does grab the hero. And he pushes off of the object that she was on. And as that happens, what everyone does see is all these boards that were already closer to the ground, they go smashing down. And the hero, they are confused. They barely registered that there was something moving at them, and then they just got completely pushed to the right. The hero, surprised whenever she does see a young boy basically pushing her out of the way. And Midoriya, he is desperately trying to hold on. He was able to save the hero, but at the same time, she wasn't fast enough to register that she is holding on to someone. And Midoriya, yeah. He's basically just telling her to not drop him. And she's confused, asking where did he come from. You were about to be hit. Sorry, I needed the help. Thank you, but... Oh crap. Can you do that again? No, not really. Not when I'm not touching the ground. The hero trying to float down. However, she does have to do one thing. Another object comes flying at her, and she just simply tells the young boy, sorry. Her letting go and trying to bring up her hands to defend herself. Now, whenever she does bring up her hands, she's able to actually hold back the object for a second, before her arms buckle and she gets sent flying backwards from the force. Her being sandwiched between this and another building. When Midoriya, as he's falling, he hits the ground. And heroes do actually try and investigate what happened. Why is the young, boy in a villain attack? Asking him if he is alright or if he is okay. Midoriya trying to get up, since he hurt his back. However, whenever he does try and stand, he finds out that his leg is broken. Now, this is whenever some more heroes, let's say Best Jeanist and the Dragon Hero, they do come in. Best Jeanist is able to actually try and make improvements. The ginormous villain, their clothes are made of a stretchy material. And he simply just grabs their clothing fibers and wraps them all around together, so their legs cannot be spread apart. And the Dragon Hero, she just throws herself off of a building and grows in size, being able to grab onto the villain and actually try and get him into a chokehold. Midoriya does actually watch this go on. Now, after the villain is taken down and actually subdued, this is whenever checking on the young boy. From what people say, or at least may have seen, all of a sudden, this hero, she was thrown out of the air, thrown out of the way of a moving object. Before, she was hit and struck by one and the kid fell. Now, what Midoriya tried explaining was that he tried to help the hero. She was going to be hit by that large object, and he simply wanted her to be okay. Now, this is where they actually do at least discover Midoriya was telling the truth. The pro hero he helped, she is pretty injured, and will at least make a full recovery. However, she did actually want to thank that boy personally. If she was hit by anything bigger than what she was already hit with, she may have actually died, since it would have actually crushed one of her ribs, and possibly sent it either into her lung or into her heart. Now, Midoriya, he is actually really happy about that. Plus, it's on the news that a young boy actually did save a pro hero's life. However, he did it by unauthorized usage of his quirk. Now, along with that, Midoriya, this is whenever he does go to the doctor himself. They discover a little bit more about his actual quirk. The doctors, they ran tests, because they were just as confused by it. Midoriya's body, and or his leg, is showing some strange signs. Usually whenever a person is hurt, blood will immediately rush to the area of the injury. Not only will they try and seal it off, but they will also try and make sure you can stop further bleeding. However, from looking at Midoriya's leg, it seems that his body immediately activated this, and the boy began a lengthy form of regeneration, they believe. They don't believe that it's actually its own little quirk, but they believe it might be a part of his quirk. Now, they think that Midoriya has the ability to alter time, with the simple way that his body perceives it. That was their theory, so Midoriya may have sped up time on his leg in order to heal. That's what his body might have done. However, after revealing his actual quirk, they believe it to be a ability of it. Now, this actually does surprise the doctors. The boy has a super speed quirk. That means that his body is augmented. So, along with that, so is his immune system. And the way his body does heal, he heals faster than a normal person. That kind of does make sense. And upon further testing, they discover Midoriya's quirk is actually more than just a mix of his parents. It's got its own unique aspects. Not only was this regeneration a good, clear sign of it, but they believe that more pieces of it may pop up, especially as the boy grows and discovers them. Meaning that he will be a very good pro hero, since, from what the boy says about his own top speed, he's faster than Ingenium, and may possibly even be close to All Might. Now, with that being said, Midoriya, he does get sent home. And this time he spends away while he is healing. He does actually spend it listening to music. The school, they understood that Midoriya, yeah, with what happened and the way apparently his quirk is, he should not be on his feet at all. Especially since they believe that if they move him or simply get him up on his feet, any weight or pressure on it might damage it more. Especially because they're dealing with something unknown. Now, Midoriya began to listen to quite a lot of music. Along with that, Bakugo, his friend, did actually do Midoriya a bit of a favor. He knows that Midoriya, he's already probably listened to everything he owns. Every CD, music, and probably a lot of things online. So Bakugo did him one thing the entire class agreed on. They each gave Bakugo a bit of money. And as a bit of a care package for saying, this is our school hero, they sent Midoriya a lot of CDs of a lot of different music. Bakugo was basically told to pick up anything Midoriya might like, as long as he stays in the budget they gave him. Bakugo did do this, and actually pick up a few things, including an album that he actually thought Midoriya might like. However, Bakugo, he just picked it up for himself. The album had a bomb on it, along with the fact that the hero, he's pretty sure they're either making explosions with their hands, or that's a fire quirk they have. Whichever one, it looks pretty good. Now, whenever Bakugo did arrive at Midoriya's house and basically drop off all these things, Midoriya was actually really surprised, and actually pretty excited. Bakugo and him talking about what they should listen to. Midoriya confused. We? Well, of course, jackass. You get all this time off of school for saving someone and using your quirk. You really don't expect me to hang out with you? Besides, from what I know right now, him pulling out a CD, saying that this one caught his eye, and he's wondering if it's going to be any good or not. Sounds like you picked that up for yourself. Hey, I know how you are with music, jackass. I think we both know that heavy metal's a lot better. Hey man, it doesn't matter what it is, music's music. Then again, I would have to agree with you. I'm still trying to find some good genres. Now, with that being said, this is whenever they do begin to listen to the music and hang out for a bit of time. And they do actually play some video games, having some fun, and eventually Bakugo does go home. And Midoriya, him and Bakugo were talking. Bakugo does want to actually get his quirk to be stronger. So they both talked about it and they might start training together. The whole idea is that Midoriya, he's very fast. However, sometimes his reflexes, they aren't as fast as him. So, they want to try and train his reaction time and his speed. So, it's a bit stupid right now, but they think that by blasting Midoriya with explosions, or at least trying to blow him up with some, Midoriya would have time. If he can outrun an explosion, then hey, that's just going to show exactly how fast he is. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing night. Catch you guys in the next part.